Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Unfuck Yourself podcast. I am here. I'm also live on Instagram with a bunch of the community queens right now. We have almost 100 people in here. We just got in here. I'm so excited. We are doing a very, very impromptu free mini training all on soul pull. Questions around the soul pull and what it is, how to figure it out, what's going on. And I decided last minute today, quick little backstory though, and I'm sure you guys saw on, if you haven't seen on Instagram story, I was hit with like a fucking sinus infection with who knows what was going on with me. And I was just like in this little hole of like under my bed, under the covers of my bed, not doing literally anything for 5 days in a row, which if you don't know, I have insane amounts of energy. So it's like so unlike me to not have energy. I couldn't get out of bed, anything. Today, I popped up and I said, we need to tell the people how important it is to be on your soul pull. And I got real fucking passionate about it. My team has been getting insane amounts of texts from me today. I'm like, we need to tell people. So here we are. I decided we're doing a free workshop because especially with all that's going on right now in the world, all the uncertainty, you want to be on your soul pull. A reason why you want to be on your soul pull during uncertainty is think of 2020 as an example. In 2020, when COVID happened, when shit hit the fucking fan in the world, I was thriving because I was on my soul pull, meaning I had a sense of purpose, I had a sense of clarity, I had a sense of direction, and I had a sense of understanding the tools of what you need to program and implement in your creator field to earn a lot doing those things, to earn a lot in your pull, in your purpose. And because of that, when everyone else was losing their jobs, was depressed, was unclear, was getting what they thought their purpose was taken away from them. Side note, no one can actually take away your purpose from you. When everybody was getting these things, what seemed like ripped out from under them, and it was chaotic and confusing, and everyone didn't know what to do, and they got sad, and they felt such a lack of purpose, well, they then spiraled and it causes depression. Depression, the emotional root cause of depression is not being connected to your purpose. That is all it is. That's all the emotional root cause of depression is. So while that was going on, because the external world around them was crumbling apart, anybody, and myself included, who was connected to their soul pull ended up fucking thriving during that time. That's the time when my business popped off. In February 2020, I maybe had like $500 to my name that I made through my business. In June 2020, like March, April, May, June, like 4 months later, I was making $11,000 a month in business. And then it was just like continued. It just stayed consistent. And my business popped off during the time where a lot of people's lives were crumbling, and I'm not being like, haha, my life. No. My life crumbled a lot before my life to get me on my soul pull. So I've had the crumbling era. Like we all have the crumbling era. I have very much had the crumbling era of life. Do not worry. But because I had the crumbling era of life, I got on my soul pull, and then I did not have to have the crumble during the COVID situation happening because I had clarity, direction, and extreme purpose, and my business skyrocketed then because it had the space to. So it's no coincidence that I like woke up with this insane passion to talk about this today, because if you guys, who here has listened to my podcast episode on like what could potentially be going down in the world? Because if you haven't, go listen to it. It'll make sense. But the fires in LA are just the fucking start of the shit that could be hitting the fan in, the next few years, whatever. So go listen to the podcast for the download on that. Like, don't get me on that topic. I'll go down a rabbit hole because I easily will. But if you haven't listened to that podcast, go listen to it. But anyway, if you have, you'll understand that the fires that are going on in LA are just the fucking start, right? Again, more uncertainty, more people losing things, more people not knowing what they're going to do. When you're on your soul pull, not only are you certain and purposeful in what you're doing, but you also then can gain the right tools to be able to earn a fuck ton of money in it. When you earn a fuck ton of money, you can not only then go help people who have lost things in the LA fires, but if you have happened to lose something of your own in the LA fires, you're not stressing about replacing it. But if you don't have that, then you're stressed, you're chaotic, you're you have no direction of what the fuck's going on. So with what's coming, the best thing you can fucking do for yourself is be on your soul pole. Also, what happens with that is when we're not on our soul pole, shit will hit the fan in our own life to get us on our soul pole. So why shit wasn't hitting the fan for me in 2020 was because it hit the fan in my own life before to get me on my soul pole. Like, your girl went through it for a really long time, ate a lot of shit, and it led me to getting on my soul pole. Well, we luckily have the tools now to get you on there so you can stop eating shit or not have to continue to eat shit or not have to eat shit to get on it through trial and error. I have taken one for the team. You will do it way faster than I ever did. So when we're not on our soul pole, we are quite literally going to get our ass handed to us from our higher self to get us to realize our full potential. If we're not realizing our full potential, cue the reflections. If you've never heard me talk about a reflection before, who here has heard about reflections? Who knows what a reflection is? Let me know in the comments. But if real quick little breakdown, if you haven't heard me talk about reflections before, reflections are essentially however you are being towards yourself, however you feel about yourself, are how other people are going to be toward you. It is how you're going to experience the world. It is how the people, places, situations, circumstance are going to act toward you. So when we are disconnected from our potential, even by 10%, we are going to get that reflection in our face. Shit's going to hit the fan, continue to just blow up until we fucking get it. Well, now imagine that happening in your own life, but now if it's happening on a global fucking level, that is now even 100 times shit blowing up in your own life to try and get you on your soul pole. If you want to thrive instead of survive during these upcoming uncertain times, understanding your soul pole, having the right tools to connect back to what that is going to be fucking game changing for you. You're gonna kick yourself if you ignore the pull right now to get on your soul pole, if that makes sense. So what I'd like to do is, this is a very impromptu mini training. I don't really have a plan. My plan is to just come on here and geek out over soul pole because I'm obsessed with it. And then when I got my energy back today, I was like, it's almost like I woke out of bed and I was like, I need to tell everybody. So my plan is to just kind of go off on deep dives about it. And I have a bunch of the screenshots here of questions people asked in the question box. I'm going to answer some of those. While I answer some of those, put some of your questions in here. The workshop was fire. Thank you. Who here was at the workshop, the Career Advantage workshop? I want to know. And I want to know your thoughts about it. Really fun news from that. I've gotten a few DMs. I've gotten a lot of DMs actually, but a few that really stuck out to me is Melissa, Queen Melissa, made $5,500 like the same week that she took the workshop. And then someone else, I forget who it was. I remember Melissa's name because she's in a bunch of programs, but I forget who this was. But she said she made $1,500 just the first hour of watching the workshop. Just really, really cool shifts. Me, amazing. I'm so glad you guys were in there and loved it. If you miss it and you have FOMO, you can go get that replay at any time. Okay, so let's go. Okay, you don't need to put questions in the question box for this one. You can just type questions like in the chat. But there was a question box on my story that I have screenshots from over here that I'm going to read some on. What we won't be doing today is any intuitive reading. So I know a lot of people, anytime they get live with me anywhere in my courses, they always want me to look in and read on their soul pole stuff. Love fucking doing that. I save that for the people in my courses though. Here we're going to just be doing like general questions about soul pole, get you like a tool or two to start to uncover what that is for you. Anything where it's like you want me to specifically look in on you and your soul pole, not what we're doing today. That's something we do inside of our paid things, just to be fair to everyone who pays for those things and to give the attention to them for that. But great news is we do have the career formula open. It is a 12 module minimum program. Me and COO Sarah are teaching. I'm teaching the energetic universal law side. She's teaching the physical side. And within that, there are live Q&As, and there is a VIP option too. So in the live Q&As, in the VIP option, we'll have time to where I go around and I intuitively get in, and I can help you read into any soul pull question, any question you have about your creator field, your soul pull, anything like that. If you're in my Glow live Q&As, if anyone here was in the last Glow Formula live Q&A, let me know. That Glow Formula live Q&A low-key turned into a like soul pull live Q&A. We just like went around, everyone was asking about their soul pulls and stuff. So it kind of turned into that, and it's a lot of fun. What I can do with intuition is I can really just lower the veil, and I can see and I can read energy with my intuition. So I can see like we all have 4 innate soul gifts, and those 4 innate soul gifts have a lot to do with your soul pull. So for example, I just got out of a one-on-one session with someone, and it came up actually her 4 innate soul gifts, because she was wondering if she should go get an MBA, or like what she should do. And I was like, fuck no, don't get an MBA, like a master's in business and that kind of thing. I was like, don't go do that. Like, it will honestly be a waste of time and money. I'm like, you have these 4 soul gifts that you don't even fucking need the MBA. Like, you'll know more than what they're teaching you there, because their stuff is just like 10 years behind anyway. Anyway, her soul gifts were, if I can remember them, entrepreneurship. One was marketing, one was intuition, and one was, oh my gosh, now I can't remember the 4th one, but the 4th one was really fucking cool. I can't remember. If I remember it, I'll circle back and tell you. But when you find those 4 innate soul gifts, it already gives you an incredible idea of, okay, if my soul's like Olympic level gifted at these, and what those gifts are, to clarify, you know how like Olympic level athletes have to be at Olympic level to be Olympic level athletes? That's how gifted you are at 4 certain soul gifts that your soul chose, but you might not know what they are. They might be untapped. And when we don't know about them, we don't know about them. And we don't know like if our ideas are stupid, or if we run a business, if it will work out. Like, this girl I was doing a session with, like, wasn't sure if she should start the business. And I was like, oh my God, your soul gifts are entrepreneurship, marketing, all these things. I'm like, yes, you start the fucking business. It's clear it's going to work out for you. And of course, we gave her some other tools to do that. So today will not be a thing where I go in and read your soul pull gifts, but I will give you a tool to start to uncover some of them on your own. Okay. Before I go into a little tool to give you to leave with, let's get into just some questions. And let's see here. Let me pull up these questions over here that I screenshotted from the question box on my Instagram story. Okay, let's go through, and I'm going to see which ones, again, not very prepared for this, like I would be for a class, but we're doing this very impromptu. So let me go through some questions here that probably everybody would have. So here's a good one. How are you sure you're on your soul pull? It feels like you're not working. And even when you're doing the things that you don't want to do, maybe you can't like hire everyone yet, or you're like doing a few things you don't want to be doing, it feels super fucking worth it, because the outcome of doing those things doesn't feel like work. Makes sense? So when I first started my business, did I want to answer emails ideally like for the rest of my life? No. But did it feel like I had this pull and drive to just do it at that time to make my business work because I had this soul pull to do what I'm doing now? Absolutely yes. Now I have a team who we filled in who does things that like I don't need or want to be doing. But at first I had no problem doing them, even though they were annoying, because I had this just like love for what I do. It's really like a love for what you do. And it doesn't feel like you're working. Like it doesn't feel like it's work. That's how you know you're on your soul pull. Now there is stuff like taxes or like CPA stuff, and COO Sarah can confirm because she's in here, I'm pretty sure still, that is the bane of my existence. We have a CPA, we have a bookkeeper, we have all the things, but when I have to go through and like sign some shit or do something, I fucking hate it. But I know it's relevant that I have to do that to getting to do what I love. So it's like, it doesn't even matter like what you have to do as long as you get to do what you love at the end of the day. And what you love at the end of the day doesn't feel like work. That is how you would know if you're on your soul pull or not. Sarah goes, hi, hello, yes. She can confirm. She's chased me fucking down every week for tax things. Okay, great. What if you love what you're doing but hate the marketing aspect? So I would look what's underneath that. Would you hate the marketing aspect if what you were doing was working? Would you hate the marketing aspect if you posted the video and the video did what you would perceive as well? If it got 1 million views, 10 million views, would you hate the marketing aspect then? If it's a no, there's something underlying that you actually don't like. She goes, no, exactly. So then my guess would be that you don't hate the marketing aspect. You hate the fact that you feel like, and this is intuitive. I say we're not doing intuitive reads, but what happens is I just go into your energy anyway because I can't help it. But what's going on is you don't like, you feel like you're doing all this hard work for nothing. And so that's what your thing is right now. So how I would reverse that is seeing everything you do and how it massively pays off, and how something, we have this thing of like good or bad. Like, oh, it's good if I got 10,000 views, 1 million views on this. She said, yes. Okay, great confirmation on that. So we have this thing of like, oh, it's great if we get 10,000 views or 1 million views, and it's bad if we get 100 views. No, imagine 100 people in a motherfucking room. Imagine 100 fucking people in a room. That's a lot of people. Okay? Even if it is 1 view or 1 like, that is one person's life you have changed. And it's not just one person's life, because that person's happier. So then they go home and their husband's happier. So their husband and them are happier, and then their kids are happier. Their kids are happy. Their kids are nice to the other kids at school. The kids are nice to the other kids at school, and then they're nice to the teacher. The teacher then is happy. The teacher goes home and the teacher's family's happier. Like, you've got to see your impact on not just the one person who liked your shit, but everyone that they know, right? You like, we're not seeing the full fucking perspective. And so to kind of circle back, you feel like you're doing all this hard work for nothing, but that's not true. That's not the ultimate truth, right? Because everything, there's the universal law called the law of balance. So everything in this universe is equally good as it is bad. So why is it incredible that your video got 50 likes or whatever is that's low to you? Why is it incredible that your video got 50 likes? How is it making you more money, more success, and helping more people in the future? Because it is. How? For example, for me, on TikTok, we have a community of around like 130 something thousand. On Instagram, we have a community of around like 14,000 something. That's pretty, like, compared to a lot of people get on there. Technically, people would consider that, quote, low, right? And when I was first on there, I was making, with 500 followers on Instagram, $10,000 a month. 500 followers on Instagram, no TikTok yet. I was making $10,000 a month. You know why? Because I decided that it didn't, more followers, more views, more this, more that, did not mean anything. And it trained me, how it was helping me was it trained me to connect to community. It trained me to care about community. It trained me to actually want to know my community. It trained me to be vulnerable with my community. It trained me to like really nurture the community I had instead of just try and go grab more and more and more and more. And what that's cultivated now is an extremely, extremely strong community where I trust you and I've been told you trust me. I hope you do. And it's created a really, really strong bond and connection with our community. And even Queen Patrice, who's in marketing, social media marketing here on Team Allie, she's told us, like, I have worked for accounts with over 100,000 followers. They don't have half the engagement that you have, Allie. Justin, my fiance, and Nikki, my guy friend Nikki, who lives with us right now, soul brother Nikki, are great examples of this. They have way more, quote, followers on Instagram than me. I get way more people watching my stories. I get way more people in my courses, and I get way more people in my DMs, and I get way more likes on my photos. And it's not about that, but it's just showing the community aspect. So I won't say names because we're recording this on the podcast, but to you, Queen, who just asked that question, see how the marketing aspect, which I'm assuming is social media marketing for you, because I know I see your stuff. So that is the best thing that's ever happened to you, that only 50 people, 100 people, 200 people like it, because it's challenging you to create and cultivate a really strong community that people trust you. And when people trust you, they're going to want to buy what you're selling more. They're going to trust whatever you're putting out. So I want you to start to see, as everything that's going on is not good or bad, see every single fucking thing, whether you would perceive it as good or bad, as it's the best thing for you. It is it's giving you more success and more money. Always, always, always. That's how we always fucking look at things. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, some people have the same question. So what if you know your soul pull but aren't sure if you're meant to be an entrepreneur? Incredible. That's like Jonna, Team Allie's like top intuitive Jonna, right? We all know Queen Jonna. Raise your hand if you know Jonna. We love her. The same thing kind of happened with her. Her soul pull is to be doing this work, but the entrepreneur thing just like wasn't a thing she like wanted to do. So now she gets to do this work, and I'm the entrepreneur that she gets to do this work for/with. So there's always ways to be on your soul pull, but still not be the entrepreneur. Same with my best friend, Emma. Her soul pull is to be doing this work. The entrepreneur thing isn't a thing she wants to do. And she just recently came onto the team and is a team intuitive and gets to do this work, but not have to do the business part of it and the CEO part of it. When you are rooted to that you're fucking great at what you do, and you're rooted to those Olympic level athlete qualities that you have, it becomes very, very easy and opportunities start to present themselves. The wild story about Jonna, who's on Team Allie, is I love Jonna. She's been in so many of my courses and workshops and retreats, and I just fucking love that girl. I never had the idea to have her come onto the team and be a team intuitive. I'm getting over being sick, so let me just drink this so I don't choke on air. You know that tickle that happens in your throat? It was coming up. So Jonna, I love her, never had the thought of, let's bring her on for a team intuitive. Well, randomly, she booked a session with me, and for nothing other than to just get her creator field right to thrive in career and finances, thinking she was going to go start her own business. So I get her all these ingredients to plug in to make over 100K or more in the next 12 months. Literally not thinking anything. Love John, have a session with her next week. Amazing. Literally not thinking anything of her coming on the team. I'm just like, let's get her set up for her own business to thrive. Well, I give her these ingredients. She starts implementing them. 3 weeks later, I'm like, Sarah, we need a team intuitive. Oh my God, Sarah, you know who it needs to be? It needs to be fucking Jonna. Before, I had no fucking thought, not because I don't love her, but just because didn't even cross my mind. Didn't even cross my mind at all. And then she programmed her creator field with all the financial ingredients and the soul pull ingredients to go make 100K or more in her soul pull in the next year, which, by the way, she wasn't making like $1 in her soul pull. And then 3 weeks later, I'm fucking thinking about her, me and Sarah, like, oh my God, we have to hire this girl. We hire her. She's now set out to make over 100K. So it's just wild how when you get the right ingredients, just shit kind of happens. Like, you don't have to know what it's going to look like or like how you can be on your soul pull, but also like not be an entrepreneur. She didn't know that either. She just started plugging in the ingredients. It made her creator field a match for then me, the CEO, to go, wait a minute, we need Jana. And then we hired her right away. She created that. So it's just a big, her story I love to tell because it's just a huge testament to you don't need to know what it looks like. You need to know and be rooted to your strengths, what it feels like, and certain ingredients plugged in to you, which we really dive into in the career formula. Okay, let's see. Let me pull a question from over here and then I'll pull a question from over here. Okay. Don't worry, we're going to get a tool at the end for you guys on how to get an idea for what your 4 gifts are. That's going to be the tool that I give to you guys to take away. So promise we will get there. Okay, let's see. Sorry if I sound a little stuffy. It's because I am. Let's see here. Are the hardest lessons you have to overcome part of your soul pull? Yes. Yes, the hardest lesson I've ever had to overcome is self-image stuff. And self-image stuff is my whole entire soul pull. Like, it is self-image related to career, self-image related to relationships, self-image related to just life, self-image related to physical looks. It is intertwined into my whole entire everything I do. And that was the bane of my existence. So here's a tool for you to help uncover what your soul pull is. What is the hardest thing that you are overcoming / have had to overcome? Write this down. And how are you / how have you overcame it? So what's like the hardest thing that you've had to overcome? Best course for self-image is Glow Formula for sure. Great question. Yeah, number 1, what's the hardest thing you are overcoming / have had to overcome? And get specific. Like, were you bullied? Were you emotionally abused? Were you whatever? Like, get very specific. And then, okay, great. If yours is great, love that one. If yours is learning to love yourself, that's going to be intertwined through whatever you do. It doesn't have to be an online course. Maybe it is. Or it could be even a fucking clothing brand where the message behind it is feeling good in your own skin. Or it could be it could be anything, but it's always the underlying message. Relationship trouble, I got bullied. Yeah, great. Body image and self-love, losing a baby. Yes, all these things are a part of the soul pull. It is a part of the soul plan. Pay attention to that. My soul chose parents that created a low self-image in me so that I could feel so fucking low on the self-image scale so that I could get so fucking tired of it and then I could do something about it. And in me doing something about it, it turned into my soul pull. Here's the other fucking thing. Oh my God, we need to discuss this. We need to talk about this. Here, addiction. Oh, addiction is a massive soul pull. Like, lean the fuck into that. Lean into that. For example, Justin, my fiance, used to be addicted to opioids for 3 years, cocaine. He was hiring escorts, like a full fucking situation. I didn't know him then, but he tells people this, like I'm not outing him. He tells people this, but that was a big part of his soul pull because he healed all that. And now he helps other men do the same. So massive, like lean into that. That is a massive, massive, massive part of soul pull. You didn't go through that just for fucking nothing. Okay. Something we have got to talk about with soul pull. This is so fucking essential. And like, if I could just like get this into everyone's fucking head and just bang it on everyone's head over and over again, is the question I get like clockwork all the time, no matter where I go, no matter where I am, no matter what live it is. It could be a Dark Forces live. I get this question about soul pull. Like it comes up every fucking time is one, it's how do I get on my soul pole? But then two, they want to be on their soul pole career making money like tomorrow. Here's my fucking beef with that, and here's my problem with that. Part of my soul pole and part of everyone's is going through the thing that puts you on your soul pole. It is healing the thing that you have to heal to be on your soul pole. When I was 19 and I lived in LA, and I don't know if like I've told this backstory, but to keep the backstory short, when I started discovering that I could heal myself and heal my self-image and heal the trauma I experienced as a child and do all that, all I wanted to do was just heal myself. And all I wanted to do was just learn how to really be okay and like love myself and have a high sense of self-image. I had no fucking intention. I was a pro dancer at this time. I was convinced that I'm going to heal my self-image so I can go be a famous pro dancer. Like, I had no fucking intention of making this a fucking career. My higher self had other plans, but that's part of the soul pull. I just kept feeling pulled, right? But it's called pull for a reason. I felt pulled to just heal my shit. I felt pulled to heal my own trauma, to help my own self. I felt pulled to develop my intuition. And in that, I was like, holy fucking fuckballs, this shit works. And it works good. And I'm going to tell everybody who cares to listen about this. And again, wasn't trying to make money off of it. I just felt a pull to tell everyone. So now I'm like shopping at the mall, giving people a reading. Like I'm on a dance job, giving a person a reading. I'm giving my friends readings. I'm like, oh, did you know that the root cause of asthma is not believing in yourself? And you know what I mean? Like I just didn't, I was on, Snapchat, like I was 20. So I had a Snapchat at the time. I was on my fucking Snapchat story telling everyone about it. My boyfriend at the time was like, what are you doing? And I was like, this is my new life. So either like it or leave. So I was like him and his friends would literally make fun of me and because they didn't understand. And so I just had this pull to heal myself and talk about it and heal myself and talk about it. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, fuck, this really works. This works for other people. I feel a pull to make this a business. But it was a pull, and it was a gradual pull. It wasn't like a one day I'm 19, oh, idea, I'm going to be an intuitive and be and heal and then teach other people and make a business out of it. That's not how it is, but a lot of people think that's what it is. A soul pull is what are you pulled to do or learn about right now, and follow that pull and trust that. My pull of healing and developing my intuition was a solid 4 years before I ever got the pull to charge for it or make it a business. It was a solid 4 years. And I never had this intention of like, I knew I wanted to work for myself, but I thought I would do that through dance. Like, I don't know how I thought I would do that through dance, but I thought I would do that through dance. I knew I wanted to, but I never just was like when I was 19, oh, idea, become an intuitive, heal yourself, become a healer, charge for it. Like that's not what happens. It's a pull. I felt a pull to heal. I felt a pull to shift. I felt a pull to heal my self-image and trauma. I felt a pull to develop my intuition. I wouldn't be able to be doing what I am doing today unless I did that then for no money, for fun, just because I truly loved it. Make sense? Like we think like, oh, I have to go do this and make money right now, tomorrow. That's not what it is though. It's a pull to just learn something. And then once you learn it, like it's a pull to then go here and it's a pull to then go there. And then you get this pull to charge over here. Like it's a gradual kind of pull. It's not a want. It's not a want. A want would be to be famous. A pull would be to go learn something and you're just so like obsessed with learning it that then you want to tell someone else and then you're like, oh my God, I want to tell whoever will listen to this. Two different things. So soul pull and a human want, two different things. A human want comes from an imbalance. You see this with a lot of actors or anyone famous really. I mean, 99.8% of the people who are famous are like not supposed to be. They're there through other ways, dark force ways, through other ways. So that tells you that the or soul plan ways, right? If you listen to the podcast, you know the difference between a soul plan and like a like creation and manifesting, who listened to that episode. If you haven't, that's a good one. So there's a human want, and the human want to be famous is a deep void of not getting the validation and love and attention in your life. How you heal that is by giving yourself the validation, the love, the attention, kind of like a glow formula, of course. And then from there, you no longer have that human want. And that's kind of what happened to me. And then when I no longer had that human want, I could listen to my soul pull easier. When we have too many human wants, it clouds our ability to feel the pull of our soul. Because when you're 19, what fucking sounds cooler? Being a pro dancer in TV and film and commercial and for artists, or being intuitive? Like, what sounds cooler? And so when I was 19, I had like 20 probably, I had like this massive ego death of like, holy fuck, I literally only want to be a famous dancer because I want the attention and validation I think it will bring me. I think it's going to fill this void. The problem was I was trying to fill a void from the outside in. That used to be me. I wanted to be an actor and I realized I didn't like doing it at all. Yes, I know Queen here. I won't say her name because we're on the podcast, but I know her from, we worked at the same fitness club in LA, and while I was pro dancing and while she was acting, like we worked at the same fitness club. So that is a true story. And now she's a queen helping people lose weight and have their dream body. Like it's just really cool what happens. Once you heal these self-image things, then you get closer and closer, or you heal any kind of human want, you get closer to being able to hear and go toward your soul pull. If I wasn't just working on myself and learning what I felt pulled to learn for all those years, I literally would not get to be doing what I'm doing today. So the pull is like what you're pulled to go learn about right now. In learning that, you don't know what could happen. You just have to follow that pull. Like if nobody would be mad at you, if nobody would judge you, here's a prompt. If nobody would be mad at you, if nobody would judge you, if nobody would have anything to say about it, if money wasn't an issue, what would you go be spending your time doing right now? That's another way to help get yourself. These are just the very foundational ways. This is 0.000001 of the information that's inside of like a career advantage or career formula, but that is like a very foundational step one to ask yourself. Okay, before I go to that question, let me finish this thought quick. If judgments weren't a thing, if money wasn't a thing, if you could do whatever you wanted, no one could say anything, what would you just go be learning about right now? Not even take out the doing for money as a factor. Like, what would you just be going to learn about right now or do? Like, seriously, sit with yourself and ask yourself that. That is going to give you a huge, huge, huge indicator of where you should get pulled toward. Huge intense pull to learn about dark forces and intuition. Fuck yes. I feel a pull to do career I keep like choking. I feel a pull to do career formula. However, I'm also doing 2 other courses of yours and one of Nikki's. I just don't know if I can handle all of them plus be a mom. I get it. You definitely want to. It depends how you work. I'm a balls to the wall person. I work well that way. But if you're not, then pace yourself. Learning new things. If money wasn't a thing, doing what you do. I love intuition. Yes, so go toward that. Like, trust these things. You are so much more intuitive, especially you guys in this room. You are so much fucking more intuitive than you think. It's just the outside judgments or the outside what would they think or the money or the this or the that that's kind of clouding you. But if none of that was an option and you had all the time in the world, what would you be pulled to go just do right now for literally fun? For literally fun. That's a really good prompt to ask yourself. It's going to get you on the way there. Okay. Mediumship, love, then go toward that. Like, we've got to trust these things. This is a big, big, big telling sign. Dance for fun. Amazing. People get paid millions of dollars on TikTok to do that. Right? Like, that's the thing. You have to trust this, because 10 years ago, if I was telling my mom, oh, I just want to dance for fun on social media and get paid, they'd be like, what? You can't do that. Well, a few years later, it turns out you fucking can. So you have to trust your soul pull. Okay, let's see. Living off the land. Fucking love it. Trust that. It's a great time to do that now. You don't want to be probably living in a city right now. I'm in your DF course and feel pulled to career formula, but I'm wondering if the glow retreat would be better for me. Well, it depends. The glow retreat, we're going to go into basically how to feel whole, which then equals you never, ever, ever having to worry about getting cheated on, or even your partner even thinking about someone else. And then also helps massively in career, finances, all 8 areas of life as well. Career formula is focused on getting your soul innate gifts, getting really clear on what those are, implementing them, unlocking them, creating opportunities in your life, and then programming ingredients for you to earn more and thrive in what your soul gifts are. It's so sad that being a mom is not a paid job. I fucking should be, but it is somehow, right? So maybe if you did have the opportunity to just be a mom, then you could create a situation where your husband makes a lot of money, and then basically you get paid for being a mom. You get to drive whatever car you want. You get to buy the clothes you want. You get to not have to work, right? There are scenarios where you can create that. Or maybe you share your mom tips on TikTok, and now all of a sudden you're a content creator of a mom on TikTok, right? I talk about that in Dark Forces, him being a light. Best tool to find soul pull. Quit job because my higher self said. Oh, your question didn't finish. Well, the tools I'm giving so far, start with those to find soul pull. Will Career Advantage be live classes or pre-recorded? There's 3 live Q&As, and then there's going to be digital recordings for you to watch or listen to. There's a podcast version too. Oh, Sarah answered that. Okay, let's pull up some other questions on here. Is that clear though? Like, give me your little hand if, or like heart, if that makes sense. Like, your soul pull isn't just like tomorrow you get an idea and then you go make money with it. It's what do you feel pulled to go learn, to go do, what brings you passion, what's fun for you. Following that pull. It's not a want, it's a pull. A want comes from an imbalanced emotional place of you trying to fill an internal void from the outside. It will never work. A pull comes from this just like authentic, like, oh, I feel pulled to go do this. This is really fun for me. I feel pulled to go here. I feel pulled to learn this. Can you have 2 soul pulls? I've started my own company and I'm writing a novel. Okay, yeah. So soul pull is like I create courses. I have a podcast. I do sessions. I also am also going to write a book. I also have an idea for something that like technically has nothing to do with what I'm doing, but the underlying message of self-image makes sense with the thing, with the idea, right? So there's like the trunk of your soul pull, and there's branches that kind of come off of the soul pull. But like the trunk of the tree, like it still comes in the branches, and then there's leaves. So it's like the trunk of the tree and the branches are like the idea of it, like self-image for me, right? Then the branches or the leaves of the tree are like the things, like the book, the course, the podcast, the other idea that like literally has what people would think has nothing to do with self-image, but it does because has an underlying thing to it. So you can have different things that you do from it. It usually always has the same underlying theme, though. I always feel pulled by you. Thank you. That's an incredible compliment. People say that I'm very well spoken. Great. To follow that. Follow that. I feel so pulled toward learning about intuition, but I am also growing a business. Any insight on how to choose between intuition level 1 or career formula? Great. Well, intuition level 1 isn't happening right now, so it just depends if you want to wait or not, but also you can also look into it intuitively. But if you haven't had, you haven't been in intuition level 1. So how would I tell you to look at that? If your business involves intuition, then I don't know. I guess it just for you, like if you're not intuitively looking into this, if you're kind of, or you haven't taken intuition to learn the right questions to ask to intuitively look into that, for you, trust the bigger pull right now. Also know intuition level 1 won't be out until like April, I think. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at other questions. Career formula or retreat or both? I mean, I fucking say both, but I'm a balls to the wall kind of person. Okay. Let's see some questions over here. A lot of the questions are like, how do you get to your soul pull? I think we got 2 really good tools for that. Let's see. Why is it hard for me to know what I want to do? Because there's probably a lot of, I call it group mind virus in your fucking ear. If we're not clearing our energy on a daily basis, only about 3% of our thoughts are our own. Isn't that fucking insane, wild craziness? Literally, if we're not clearing our energy, only 3% of our thoughts on a daily basis are our own. So if you're like, oh, I kind of want to do this, I 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 want to do this, it's probably a lot of, and again, I'm not looking in specifically in a course or in a live Q&A. That's in a course. I would look in on specifically why you are feeling that. Like there's always specific things you can find with intuition. But generally what I've seen with this as a general answer, 2 things. One thing is it's group mind virus. So it's like this person said I should do this. This person said that they should do this. Like, I'm 32. I should have the house with the kid and the baby by now. So I need to go do this. And I'm 38. I should have a stable job. So I need to go do this. Like a lot of group mind stuff. And what can be happening too is you like a little bit of this, you like a little bit of that, you like a little bit of this, you like a little bit of that. And you haven't thought about bringing in the pieces of the things that you like from each thing and then making your own little concoction. It's always a good sign. It's a sign you're going to create something new if you can't find one thing that's already been created that fully works for you. If you can't find one thing that's already been created that fully works for you, telling sign, you're going to take a piece of this, a piece of this, a piece of this, a piece of this, create something new that hasn't been done yet. Okay, I'm starting to like lose my voice a little bit. So let's take a few more questions. Let me see any more up here too. Do you have any tips we could do to clear our other people's energy off of us? That's in dark forces. Okay, let's see here. How do I know if it's something is just a hobby or my soul pull? I feel like I saw a lot of those questions in here too. If it's a hobby that you really, really enjoy and you just feel pulled toward it all the time, I have a feeling it has to do with your soul pull. Like a big time, I have a feeling. I keep hearing retreat. I miss a retreat announcement. There is a Glow Formula retreat, you guys, in the end of February, early March in Arizona. The only prerequisite for it is you have had to be in the Glow Foundation workshop, which is just a 2-hour workshop, or Glow Formula program. It's on my website. You can go check it out. Aw, thank you so much. I love that you're here too. How do you sign up? Oh my gosh, it is literally right there. Sarah just put the link. Oh my gosh. Hey, Monica. We just did a session earlier. Yes, you guys, there's a Glow retreat. Okay. Yes, in Arizona. It's in Arizona. It is the end of February, early March. The whole team most of the team will be there, not all of them, but a lot of my team will be there. We'll have assistants, intuitives to help. It's going to be really fucking cool. Okay. Let's get to more soul pull questions. I definitely want to do the retreat and career formula. I can definitely afford only one. Any thoughts on how to decide? Great question. So pick whatever you feel pulled to the most right now. So if it is the career stuff, do that. If it's what we will be doing at the Glow retreat is all things making it very, very rooted in your creator field to like in relationship, never have somebody like look the other way or like even think about another person, and that will filter through all areas of life too. So it will make you way more whole in career and finances too. So Glow's kind of cool because self-image healing kind of just goes across the board. This career is very like getting clear on your soul pull, implementing a lot of financial programming into your creator field. Okay, let's see here. Let's see some other soul pull questions. And then I'm going to give you a little tool to get the 4, to lead you on the way to get the 4 innate soul gifts too. But again, this is like anything I'm saying or giving you is 0.000001% of what is coming and what was in the Career Advantage and in Career Formula. So, but I just want to get you like set up on the steps to start. Okay, so here's one. Oh no, where's the first part of this question? Basically feeling like wanting to post and create a following on social media and loves what they're talking about, but gets burnt out. Whenever you're getting burnt out, there's a imbalance underneath that. So you're probably not seeing how what you're doing is paying off, and you probably feel like it's not paying off and like it's worth, like it's a waste of time. So you've got to see how everything you're doing is massively, massively paying off. Honestly, there's already so much to do from this workshop itself. Good, I'm so glad. Is there a way to compress the timeline on identifying and getting into one's soul pull as a career? Oh yeah, you can massively compress timelines. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard about my former mentorship student, Kayla, but when she came to me, she was riddled in multiple chronic illnesses, like literally over 10, had Lyme disease, was in a toxic relationship, was at a job she didn't like, didn't know what she wanted to do with her life. Within 2 years of her coming to me, less than 2 years, she left a job, left the relationship, healed all her illnesses, is like totally fucking healthy, and her soul pull was to heal the illnesses, which she felt pulled to come do with me, not knowing why. She wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to make money from healing this illness. She just felt pulled to come heal the illness. She healed it. I walked her through how to heal herself. She healed herself. And then she was like, holy fuck, I feel incredible. I need to do this. Teach me intuition. I need to do exactly what you're doing. I said, fuck yes, let's do it. She then, within less than 2 years, is now making multiple 6 figures doing it. So getting the right tools will massively speed up your timeline. When I am giving you the golden platter of the tools, and you don't have to take as long as I did, and I even did it pretty fucking quick. You don't have to take it as long as I did, because anything that didn't work, we cut out. Okay, let's see here. Let's get a few more questions. Oh, this is a good question. Can you speak to the opposite of this, like a soul stop? I like that little term you came up with, like a soul stop. How to tune in and better listen. Here's the thing with this. A lot of people in the spiritual world, and you have heard this if you've listened to my podcast episode on this, the higher self plan is the hardest route. And if you haven't, you've got to listen to that podcast episode. But a lot of people will think, oh, if like it's hard, then that's not the soul plan. No, that couldn't be the farthest from the truth. If it's hard, it's probably the higher self route and plan. Now, where your higher self could be stopping you because you're totally going off on the wrong path is like you just wouldn't feel purpose or passion about it. You wouldn't feel passion. You wouldn't feel like this drive or like thing toward it. You really don't have to worry about, I mean, unless you're going in a completely different direction and completely disregarding your intuition. Or if you have to like take a bunch of drugs or take a bunch of Adderall or take a bunch of this, that, or the other thing to like get through your day, that's a telling sign of like, hey, I'm not really doing what I'm supposed to be doing. What would you recommend to consider for someone to choose between taking courses versus needing one-on-one sessions? I would take courses first, and then that way the one-on-one sessions that you do then later can almost go deeper. A lot of times, if in a one-on-one session, if you haven't taken a course, I'm kind of teaching you concepts that you could learn in a course because you need to know those concepts to do the shifting. Micro moments don't work if we're not emotionally connecting to them. Yes, even caffeine. Yeah, even if you feel like you need caffeine all the time, probably a telling sign you're not doing what you are supposed to be doing. Okay, what's funny is I have pages and pages of questions in here from my question box. All of them literally come down to are you sure you're on your soul pole? How do you find your soul pole? And like basically just like how do you find your soul pole? So I feel like we got you guys some really good steps to start. I want to get you one more little tool. Can't believe I'm just like giving this away in like a random free workshop, but I want to give you one more little tool to start to find those 4 innate soul gifts that everybody has. And again, with intuition, you can just straight up look at them and like find them and we'll do that. Like anyone in the program, if you ask the question, like I can go in and do that for you. But a tool to do this on your own is I want you to just write down like a list of things, or even ask like your friend, like, hey, like what am I really good at? Or like ask someone who knows you, like, what am I really good at? And write down a list of things they say. Write down a list of things that you think you're really good at. And write down a list of things that people just say you're good at. Whether you can see them or not right now, doesn't matter. Just write down a list of like what you think you're good at, what other people say you're good at. Phone a friend, ask questions. And you're going to start to see a pattern. They're going to start to say similar things. You're going to find a pattern in there of a few different things. There's a pattern. And start there. I don't want to overwhelm you. We already gave you 2 tools. That's the third. Start to just find the pattern. Okay. And then more to come on that in the career formula. Okay. What if it's something everyone says you're really, really great at and they want you to do, but you don't feel excited to do that thing? That's fine. Doesn't matter for right now. Just write down what they're saying because it always leads to something. There's usually something like underlying it. Okay, you guys, incredible live today. Thank you so much for being here. If you missed the first 2 tools and you missed the first part, I'm recording this audio it will be up on the podcast for you to listen to. The Unfuck Yourself podcast tomorrow. You can go re-listen to this on the podcast, and the free training will be up for you in there. The glow, oh my God, we're talking about glow in here. The career formula closes on Friday. And it won't open again. It's not one of those things that we do yearly. This is like a one-off thing that I had just the passion to do right now. So I will see you there. Sorry, you hear my dogs barking. They're saying bye. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you guys. And what a fun little live situation. I loved doing this. So thank you for joining me. And if you're ready to go advanced and take radical responsibility, I will see you in the career formula. But if you don't come because you'll hate it. If you're not ready to go advanced, you'll literally hate it. Don't come. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.